What's up, guys, and welcome back to Cam's Retro Gaming. So in this video, I'd like to show off my Neo Geo stuff. So I've had a pretty long history with the Neo Geo. My good buddy growing up, his older brother had one, and I was able to experience the AES console in all its glory back when it was current. I remember thinking the games were insanely expensive. I even knew that back then. But, you know, I played Ninja Commando, Super Spy, World Heroes, some of those games at his place, and that was really fun. And, of course, I experienced those games and others in the arcades later on. And then fast forward to, I guess, almost 20 years ago now, I got my AES console after my first one was stolen off the front porch of the apartment I was living at. So that was an experience. Never got that back. It was, I think the console was like 200 and something bucks. So I was out that much money for being super poor right out of college, which was a huge bummer. But I got another one. I remember getting Robo Army, Super Spy, Nam, and let's see, Magician Lord, some of the basic titles, Super Psychics 3. Had all those on AES, ended up selling that eventually a few years later, and then got an arcade cabinet, got into the MVS. Then I thought about I was going to move to California, sold all that stuff, and of course I didn't do that move. So as we turn the ripe old age of 40, I've in the last couple of years gotten back into collecting and revisiting my childhood and getting all the games back that I sold. And now, of course, now they're super expensive. Anyway, that's my history. But before we get into this, I like to kind of show some recent pickups. So I did pick up something this week. The most ridiculous thing I've probably ever bought, especially considering I'm not the biggest 64 fan, but the price was right. We have the Nintendo 64 Mad Catz Bass Pack. So this is the Rumble Rod, the rod reel, and then the Force Pack right here, and then memory card or memory pack. So this is brand new. And it was 30 bucks, so couldn't pass it up. I just have to get some of the games that actually are compatible with this, and I think it'd be a unique thing to have. So I do plan on opening it and checking it out. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a look at the games. So we start out with Gangan, aka Aggressors of Dark Combat. Not the best fighting game, but it's, you know, you got to just love these huge sprites. And it was one that I got for relatively cheap, just trying to fill out the collection a little bit. So glad to have it regardless. Next we have King of Fighters 95. The only game I have that's disc only. All right, we got Real Bout Fatal Fury. This is one of my absolute favorite covers. You just got to love Geese Howard, just kind of hanging out on that ornate chair with, I think, Billy Kane is right here in Bodyguard in the full picture version. But this series is pretty fun. Loading times aren't the best, although, you know, to be honest with you, it's nothing terrible as compared to even like a PS4, that generation of stuff. So you're gonna kind of get what you get with the Neo CD, and it's worth it to me. So my philosophy too, real quick, on the Neo CD and the MVS is I kind of buy whatever is cheaper or more affordable, and that's kind of how I justify it. So yeah, so I got this, I think this was an eBay purchase. All right, next is Art of Fighting 3. I used to have this on MVS back in my old collection, but I think the CD version is slightly stripped down as far as animation frames. Maybe sprite size, I'm not sure, but it's a beautiful game on either console. All right, we have Mutation Nation, which I think is one of the best beat 'em ups on the console. Very underrated, and one that's, I think, is relatively fair. You're not going to just get your ass whipped like a lot of these games that just want your quarters. And it's very strange, so I recommend Mutation Nation. Next, we have Nam 1975. This is one that I had on my original AES console, It's crazy how much these games have gone up in price, like just insane. I remember getting this brand new on the AES for like 40 or 50 bucks, maybe even less than that from the Neo Geo store. So even the CD version was like over 100, I think now. So it's just crazy. We have Super Baseball 2020, which is one of my favorite baseball games ever. And I kind of do prefer this over Baseball Stars 2. I just love the artwork and the futuristic theme. And man, this is such a great cover. We have Neo Geo's answer to NBA Jam, although I'm not sure which one came out first. I think NBA Jam. I'm not 100% sure, but Street Hoop or Street Slam. This is a fun basketball game. And I guess it's 3-on-3. I kind of forgot about that, but fun game. Androdunos. I think this is a repro. I got this off eBay. It was new. It looks like a repro to me. Honestly, yeah, it definitely does. Anyway, but a simple shooter, but it's a cool one regardless. And speak of the devil, Baseball Stars 2, an incredible game in its own right. Most probably prefer this to Baseball 2020, and a must-have on any Neo Geo console. All right, we have Sonic Wings 2, or also known as Air Fighters 2. I think I had 2 and I had 3 on my original MVS console. Fun shooter. Samurai Spirits, aka Samurai Showdown. I also have this, like I said, on the MVS. Used to have this on the AES. And I want to say that the music is slightly different. I know some of these games have arranged music, so different music depending on the CD title or MVS/AES, so it's worth having multiple versions, in my opinion. Then we have Samurai Showdown 2, Samurai Spirits 2. I think people, like I said before, tend to agree this is the better one, but I'm kind of partial to the first one too. We have Polestar. Unfortunately, I don't have Blazing Star. I remember borrowing Blazing Star on the MVS back in the day, but a great shooter. Amazing graphics. Got this for a pretty good deal on eBay. Real Bout Fatal Fury 2. This is really fun game. Do I have all 3 of the Real Bout games? I think I might. I think I said I have Real Bout Special. I may have a redundant game. I kind of forgot, but I either have all 3, one on MVS, or I have this twice somewhere. Anyway, gotta love that artwork. Fun game. Great fighting game. Art of Fighting 2. Pretty basic. This came with my Neo Geo CD. So, but I've always enjoyed the big sprites in this series. Fighters History Dynamite. I think another one I kind of bought just to flesh out my collection. Cool fighting game. You know, big, huge sprites like in any game on the Neo Geo, except for NAM 1975. But cool game to have. All right, Cross Swords. Really unique game. Kind of like a better version of the Super Spy, in my opinion. It's as if you took like it's I don't know, kind of unique thing with like the wireframe character and first-person action. And the reason why I even got a Neo Geo CD was Cross Swords 2. I remember seeing screenshots of this a long time ago and thinking, man, I've never played this. I've never played a Neo Geo CD. Would love to have a Neo Geo CD just to have this game, and this is exactly why I have a Neo Geo CD, because of Cross Swords 2. All right, next we have Ninja Commando. I did not pay $34. I wish I paid that much, but I paid more. This is a absolutely killer. I guess it's technically like a run and gun shooter kind of combo. This is one of the games that my buddy's older brother had. So I grew up playing this a little bit. Really fun game. Pretty challenging, but it's not ridiculous or anything. Next we have Sengoku 2. This game has some pretty awesome visuals, and it's pretty fun. A beat 'em up. And I mean, look at this. Just some crazy bosses. The one right here with the skull, and like he has a ladle. and you're in the ocean, it's just crazy. You're always warping to like different times and stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of like Japanese cultural references that we don't understand around here. And finally, I also have this on the MVS. You can't go wrong with Flying Power Disc, also known as Windjammers. So, absolutely amazing game. All right, guys, so we'll take a quick look at my Neo Geo stuff. We'll start out with my boxes, and some of my peripherals. So here's my Neo Geo CD box. I mean, it's just the box. I have my console hooked up currently, but I think it's a great looking box. And on top of the box, I have some Neo Geo CD Controller Pros. These are the bean joysticks, as they're called. One is actually in the box, and one I have empty, because that's actually my preferred way of playing my Neo Geo CD or MVS. And then this is a new in-box Neo Geo CD controller. Happy to have that. You know, those tend to wear out, the thumbsticks. So I have a couple pads down here, right there, and I wanted one new in-box. So before we get to the Neo Geo CD, it's just easier to show this on the shelf. So pardon the guerrilla filmmaking here. So here are my Neo Geo MVS games, and there's no order. I'll kind of just go through them real quick. King of the Monsters 2, you know, classic beat 'em up / wrestling game. Pretty difficult, but one of those nostalgic games for me. I love Puzzle Bobble. It's one of my favorite games on the console. I don't have Puzzle Bobble 2 because it's pretty expensive, and I have that on the Saturn. So for now, I'll just keep the Puzzle Bobble number 1. And a lot of these have, I think, probably repro labels. Some of these have repro labels, but all the games are authentic. Top Hunter, a pretty unique platformer that you kind of go, you know, different like foreground and background, different paths. Of course, Windjammers, which is an absolute classic. I also have this on Neo Geo CD. Metal Slug 1 and X. Of course, we know X is a remake or a reimagining or upgrade of 2. Both are great to have. I'd like to have 3, but like once again, it's kind of expensive, so I haven't pulled the trigger. And of course, my King of Fighters stuff is out of order, but here's 2002. I can't remember the differences between all of them and which one's considered better, but there's 2002. Last Blade, which is an absolutely beautiful fighting game. Highly recommended. I think either 1 or 2 is also available on the Dreamcast, but I'd like to get Last Blade 2 at some point too. League Bowling, really fun, simple, but fun game. I got a few of these games all in a lot together. I keep probably putting my hand in front of the camera, but League Bowling was one. Some of the games were in rough shape, but I cleaned them up, got a good deal on them. Big Tournament Golf, you know, it's probably one of my favorite Neo Geo games, and that's also known as Neo Turf Masters in the US. Thrash Rally is kind of like a top-down RC Pro-Am, super off-road kind of game, rally kind of racer. Samurai Showdown 2, some say that's the best one. I do like it a lot. Let's see, Soccer Brawl, that actually came with my MVS consoleized console. Super Spy is one of the ones I got in the lot. Not a great game, but it has amazing sprites in one of those games that I played as a child. Really enjoyed it. King of Fighters 99, another King of Fighters game. Boy, oh yeah, Magical Drop 2. That's embarrassing. Can't remember the games I have. Puzzle game. I prefer Puzzle Bobble, but fun game. There's Real Bout, Fatal Fury Special. Another great fighting game in the Real Bout series. I have a couple of those. I have one of those on Neo Geo CD. King of Fighters 98 is right here. We have Bust a Move, which is the same thing as Puzzle Bobble, but I have 2 copies for some reason. I think this is Samurai Showdown 3. And then we have the original Samurai Showdown. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Great to see you. And thanks for watching. We will see you next time.